This lecture is organized by Dr. Alemi. The lecture is based on the Open Introduction to Statistics books. Nominal, ordinal, and categorical variables can be analyzed by counting the frequency of occurrence of each category. A frequency table counts the number of observations that fall within different categories of the variable. Here we have classified the severity of comorbidities of the patients. We count how many patients fall within each category. For example, of the 3,921 heart failure patients examined, 545 had low severity of comorbidities. A bar plot is a common way to display a frequency table for a single categorical variable. The categories are given on the x-axis and the frequency is given on the y-axis. A relative frequency replaces the count of categories with the portion that fall within the category. This figure shows the relative frequency of severity of discharge comorbidities. The bar plot looks the same, but the y-axis has been changed with portion of the sample replacing counts of patients. A table that counts the co-occurrence of two categorical data is called a contingency table. Here we have counted the number of patients with low, medium, and severe conditions at discharge that are readmitted to the hospital within 30 days. For example, 149 patients had both severe comorbidities at discharge and were readmitted to the hospital within 30 days. Row proportions can be calculated by dividing the value of the cell in the table by the row total. This shows a contingency table with the count of patients in the table replaced with row proportions. In this table, the total of the row is always 1. Now we can more easily see that among patients readmitted in 30 days, 41% had severe comorbidities at discharge. One can calculate column proportions by dividing each cell in the table by its column total count. This yields 1 for the total row in each column. This is to say that 100% of the patients fall in the column total. By dividing by the total, we are examining the portion of the patients that fall within different categories among the total patients falling in the column. Now we can see that among patients with severe comorbidities, 27% are readmitted within 30 days. This provides evidence that knowledge of severity of comorbidities could help us predict which patient might be readmitted. Categorical variables are examined by counting portions that fall within them. See if you can answer these questions. Pay attention to the last part of the question. To answer this part, do you need row or column proportions?